Sublime magnificence. Hey guys, you know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent Omari LSFAO Grande on YouTube, back with another episode of This Guy Hasn't Seen, a Royal Rumble episode of This Guy Hasn't Seen, and I'm joined by my co-host and running mate, one of my best friends in the world, El Director himself, Bill Smith.
Hey Omari, thank you for having me back as always. Love being here, love doing this thing, trading these things back and forth. One guy has seen it, the other one hasn't. Usually movies, sometimes it's TV, sometimes it's other random things, including wrestling matches. And we've fallen into a little bit of a pattern, as we do with a lot of things on this show, falling into patterns that we just continue to reinforce. Around this time of the year, we share a Royal Rumble match between each other.
That's right. And this says last weekend was the Royal Rumble, and boy, isn't it crazy who won? That was sick. Anyway, we
The Royal Rumble winner,
Roman Reigns. Exactly.
and don't forget about the Women's Royal Rumble winner.
Awesome.
Morgan.
They were great.
I'm sorry, who was that?
Oh, which one?
The
Do you mean?
women's.
Did you?
The
Were you
women's.
the men's
Big dog.
or the women's?
Liv Morgan.
Both of those. Thank you. That helped. That helped a lot. I just wanted to make sure we could hear it clearly. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Then
I
wasn't.
love those wrestlers,
Roman.
and
Live. Indeed. I almost hope it's someone that you actually don't like.
I mean, I like very few people.
But yeah, so WWE Royal Rumble, it is Royal Rumble season, and this Rumble year was a cool year. It was another year, 2026. This is a long time. I stumbled over my words. I was gonna tell, I wanted to be like, this one was significant because it involved AJ Styles, but I hadn't really. You mentioned we go chronologically, and so I got screwed up. Anyway.
Oh,
This
right.
is-
Yeah, so we're watching Royal Rumbles. Mine is first. You selected one based on some significancy of this year, and I had a lane that I knew I wanted to go into, and then I thought, all right, what could be all right. Well, we have Mr. Cody Rhodes, who is coming into this Royal Rumble suddenly as a challenger once again, going for a coveted third Royal
that's the Cody
Rumble
Rhodes.
victory. There have only been two men in history that have ever done that. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Either
okay.
that or it's just Stone Cold. But I think Hogan did it throughout through the late 80s, early 90s. I'm
Okay.
gonna Google that real quick. But anyway, so I decided, well, let's go ahead and watch the third Stone Cold Steve Austin Royal Rumble, which is going to be from 2001.
Yes, 2001. It's crazy that I hadn't seen it because I was watching wrestling around that time. However, I had not watched pay-per-views yet.
Only two. So Stone Cold is the only man to ever win three. Cody
All
would
right.
be going for
Stone
a
Cold's,
Stone Cold only feat.
Yeah. I remember last year, that's why I didn't want him to win. He didn't win last year, did he?
No, the last year
Jay,
was Jey
yeah,
Uso and
good.
Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want Cody to win last year because I like Stone Cold being like I'm okay with people losing records and stuff, but I want them to like if someone has like eight, I want them to still have that one. and then the other
Right.
ones that,
No, yeah.
can be
I
taken.
mean, full disclosure, like I joked about that I like very few people, but it's honestly the opposite. I dislike very few people. But if you were to ask me who's the Rumble winner that I would want the least out of all 30 men that are going to be in that field, it's probably Cody Rhodes for a third time.
Yeah, I don't
But
think.
there are a ton of guys that could legitimately win it this year, and I'd be really entertained by. Um,
I
I
can
mean,
agree.
but I'm saying this in as me in the past, obviously, because it's
We
already
already
determined
know.
that
Exactly. Roman.
one.
Hmm. That's true. What are we talking about? Anyway, yeah, so 2001, I knew a lot of stuff involved with this match, but I also didn't. I hadn't seen it. I was scared that I
Well,
might have.
what stuff did you know?
Um, the
Well, obviously,
uh,
I led with who wins.
yeah, though
If you
obviously
hadn't
who
already even
won.
known,
Yeah, I have seen clips of different spots, like the table spot. Um, Drew Carey knew about Drew Carey. Thought he had.
this is the first of what would be
I'm about to
several
say, I
appearances.
thought he had entered a different Rumble than this, and you're saying it's the first of several. So okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, I had seen. I'm like, no, I was watching one of Drew Carey's Rumbles, and I'm pretty sure that's not how he got eliminated that time. Or like I'm pretty sure he didn't get in a fight with Kane. Like didn't he like just immediately get out the ring in one of them? Like he got in, saw like Big Show or somebody and said, "Fuck this, I'm out."
Um, maybe, but he always gets in a fight with Kane. That's the running joke
Oh, it
that
might have been
starts
Kane.
with
It might
this
have been Kane
pay-per-view.
again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gotta be Kane. I think the next one um uh uh he runs out and it's the opposite where Kane's in the ring waiting for him and then it's like instant.
Yeah,
It's
get
like a
in, get out.
Santino style. Just
Yeah.
like boop boop.
Yeah, but he gets himself out, and the only way that Santino could get eliminated faster is if he got clotheslined like right as he
Right.
got in or
Right.
something.
Right.
Um, yeah, I had seen the second one where he it got out. I saw that live when it happened.
I think there's one where he takes a clothesline too.
Oh,
A la
okay.
Santino, but it's just not as it's not nearly as fast because he's
Gotcha.
Drew Carey moving around. Um, but I think there's one where he does eventually get some physicality.
Okay.
But
I
yeah,
do
this is a Drew Carey Rumble.
I do like that that's the thing. And I knew that Kane had 11 eliminations as the record. I was always under the impression that I had watched the Rumble that happened in, but I hadn't until today. It was just a stat they remind you of every year. And as a Kane fan, I was like, yeah, Kane. I, sorry, excuse me. I've seen a
Well,
lot of
and these
Rumbles of
things bleed
Kane's.
together
I'm about to
too.
say, I've seen a lot of Kane's Rumbles. The man,
Like
spoilers, the man's been in a lot of Rumbles.
there was a big portion of your Rumble where I was like, "Oh, I've seen this," because I thought it was a completely different Rumble all the way till the very end. It literally as a 10-year-old Rumble, it got a surprise pop out of me because I had convinced myself that it was the Roman Reigns Rumble. I had never listened to them declaring where it was located because I know the Royal Reigns Rumble is in Philadelphia. Um, but I had never heard, and then as soon as I realized that it could be that one, I kept waiting for them to declare it or see some kind of iconography in the stands or something that hinted towards it being Philadelphia, and I never did. So eventually I just kind of cemented and almost started half watching because I was like, oh, this is the one where eventually, because isn't the Wyatt family associated with that one too?
Probably, yeah, they are.
In towards the end mark when The Rock does get involved and all of
That's
that.
showing Kane, I think, that year. Showing Kane kind of. The Wyatt family may be involved, or Bray might have been involved, but Show and Kane,
Okay, yeah, now I'm remembering it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Show. Okay, yeah, I'm remembering that moment. But I
yeah.
had seen, I was pretty sure I had seen that one. So I was like, oh, this is
Speaking
this
of
is
Kane
neat.
being in a lot of rumbles.
I didn't remember that one being the one AJ Styles returned in, but oh well, this is just another one that Bill has seen. Uh because there's
Yeah,
nothing
no,
that really, it's just a
you're
lot of
right.
like you have
No,
your Kofi spot
the
and it's
rumbles
like,
bleed together. I just
and
mentioned
also
that.
at this point we've seen so many, if it is a memorable spot, we've seen it in like YouTube compilations already 50 times.
Hmm.
So it feels like we've seen the Rumble.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm like, yeah, I felt like I had seen it, but I hadn't.
But
Um, yeah, go ahead.
so 2001, this is getting really close to when I stopped for the first time. Like at this point, I have been a pretty consistent wrestling viewer since like 1991, damn near. And we're getting really, really close to when I take a pretty significant step away. But this is a rumble that I remember fondly because, or fondly, just remember strongly because of the Crimson Mask incident towards the end of it. But I had pulled up my notes that I was taking on my phone during this. But
Yeah,
one thing I could say is when I watch older stuff now, like and like obviously when you watch older stuff, it's like, oh my God, this is like it's a different thing almost. It's like
yeah.
watching black and white movies versus color movies. Um but when you go to even just like this near back, uh eh, like the top is incredible, obviously. You got your Stone Colds and you got your Rocks and you got your Canes and your Undertakers and stuff.
Yeah.
Um but looking back really highlights how mid to bad in today's standards everything else was. Like, just to start it off, the Hardys are like botching all over the damn place. Like a bunch of different people
They
in
did.
this
They did
first
have
in
like
this
some
first
bad
section look
spots.
like they're in like 30% effort. Like this
Yeah.
is the fucking Royal Rumble. And it's just so weird in today's standard where like anything televised, people these wrestlers are like fucking
Under a
putting their necks on
micros
the line,
Yeah,
you know?
and they're under a
Uh
microscope for that. Like, oh, he only turned 540 degrees instead of 720. Botch, botch. Like, what the
like
fuck?
meanwhile you have these guys at the Royal Rumble and like known, who will eventually be known legends, just absolutely whiffing punches by like a foot, which in today's standards would be a meme that like Becky Lynch would never live down. LA Knight, if he was caught on HD
This your
with
king?
like this much breathing room.
Not Zoom raising a hand because you had your hands up. But yeah. No, I agree with you on that. I thought it was funny though, and I even liked it because it was like a big nostalgia can, like, ooh, this wrestler here, this wrestler there. Speaking of the Hardys though, why did they fight each other? So they were like number two and four in the no, number one and like four in the Rumble, and it's just the two of them, and they start fighting each other. It's like, guys, wait to the
Because they're
end.
stupid.
Yeah, exactly. Wait to the end. Team up till the end. Yes, it's every man for himself, but do that later.
That's part of the story you're telling, is the mirror opposites of the
Other
rookie
brothers that
idiot
come in
brothers,
later.
and then the veteran brothers at the back half that literally just stand there
No, you got a good point.
and
That
are
was
like,
gonna.
"Yep, I'm waiting. We're waiting."
They're like, we've been in these things enough to know. This is what
Yeah.
to do. And we have
But
a
man,
history. And we
that
actually, yeah,
section
and
was
they actually
rough.
have a history of hating each other. Kane and Taker do. The Hardys, I don't think, did at that point. But yeah, they're like 2 months away from TLC at Mania X7. So no, they're still buddies at that point. But they're young and stupid. Anyway, oh, I did find it funny when the subtitles lied and when cause it's like, yeah, this person's been in the WWF for so long, and the subtitles are like WWE. I'm like, don't lie to me. I know exactly what I just heard. But no, lots of stuff that were time capsules, like picture flashes during Swantons and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Picture flashes in the crowd are really great and really nostalgic. I really miss those. That's same with that like night baseball games. Oh
yeah.
man, especially like deep in the season or like man, like going to see Mark McGuire in the home run chase at a night game and every single swing was just for every single person hoping they were photographing the home run hit. Oh man, oh, it's so missed, so missed.
Um, yeah,
Teddy Long sighting. I have that in my notes. Referee soon to
referee
be
Teddy
GM
Long.
Teddy Long out there controlling the crowd. Spotted him when weird looking Raven, a weird version of Raven. I didn't like it. It made me uncomfortable. It was like, that's not Raven. That's not how I remember. I mean,
Exactly.
everybody
It was
looks
not
weird.
how I remembered
Perry
Raven.
Saturn looks really weird. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many dudes in this area that look weird.
Fucking, not even looking weird, but god damn, I don't miss this group at all. At least being on TV every week, I don't miss them at all. All right to censor and that goddamn annoying ass
Oh my
alarm.
God. And in with like modern, like I have like a modern, pretty good tuned sound bar on my TV. Oh my God. It was, yeah, if you were watching on headphones, fuck. Like
It's
that was rough.
terrible. It's fucking
And
terrible. But that's
like,
what made it so perfect. They were so easy to hate. I hate them
and also
now. I hate them now.
I know I've done this rant. I know I've done this rant on this show before, but we over idolize and romanticize the hardcore era. Um like just with this Rumble. Like this Rumble is known as the Kane Rumble, Austin winning the third one, and having the cool hardcore section. Like that's the reasons why everybody
Yeah,
votes it as one of the best Rumbles of all time.
yeah,
And it's
weapons in the
just 10
Rumble. I
minutes
don't
of
remember
people
that.
hitting each other directly in the head with a trash can lid.
So
Like
many
they're all just
headshots.
standing there and just taking straight, unprotected shots to the forehead
Trash can
voluntarily.
lids,
It looks
street signs,
ridiculous.
trash cans, everything in the fucking world just bam.
Yeah. And in hindsight, to know that that is like potentially causing serious life altering brain damage. And it doesn't even look like I don't even know what 13-year-old me was like interested in because it's just a bunch of guys standing there waiting to get hit in the head with a trash can. Like there's no like drama or anything to it. It's literally just like, all right, here's where we hit each other in the head with trash cans for 10 minutes.
Oh. And then just kept having hardcore people come out, like you mentioned, Raven, Steve Blackman, my boy Steve Blackman, that guy.
And before people get on me about that, yes, there were cool hardcore things, but like this was the majority like this was your average hardcore match in the Attitude Era. Just like I checked if I messaged you just to check to see if you had seen it or not. Um, just like yes, The Rock has some iconic dialogue, and the fact that he even invented some of those catchphrases is calls for a very creative outside the box thinking wrestler, like setting new, reshaping the mold kind of stuff. Obviously, great. but also super fucking cringe and not as good as we think about in like we are playing the greatest hit in our minds when we always say these things. In reality, he was pretty much the same guy that we're all talking shit on right now when he comes back. He's a little stumbly over his words. He repeats things like three times, and you're a little bit of you is like, all right, Rock, get to the point. Like, okay, yeah, you've said that line three times now. um, but like it's still it's great. I'm not saying it's not great, but like when y'all jumped down my throat, well, not y'all, but you know, the general y'all was when I was like, Rock's cringe. He's fucking cringe. He is. That promo was a little cringe, and it wasn't like the perfect like oh like we just I don't know. I just feel like sometimes we romanticize him as like he
Yeah.
like he it wasn't ever dorky, and sometimes it came
Um,
off as dorky.
I'm not gonna defend the dorkiness or argue the dork levels of the Rock thing. You can have whatever opinion you want of it that you will. And you can be very valid. I enjoyed it.
Oh, apparently not. I'm losing this argument all the time as far as majority opinion goes.
Because at the end of the day, like I said, regardless if he's corny or not, and some of his shit is corny, like we hated Roman Reigns for trying to use promos that sounded corny, but definitely would have been Rock promos. So I'm not gonna be like, no, he didn't say corny shit. It's just even with him saying the corniest shit, it's entertaining as fuck. I don't care if it's corny. Because the guy says it with such conviction and such delivery. He, especially if you're a fan of his back then and you're caught in the genjutsu, you're going to just you'll feel stupid for not thinking it's funny. He just said that. I'm like, well, that's The Rock, and he's saying it, so
Yeah.
it's cool.
And like when and like obviously he's incredible. And when he comes out in the ring, he's incredible. And there are some promos of his that are some of the greatest promos of all time. That's more of just like a comment on
Yeah.
like you know we romanticize this era a little too much. We think about the greatest hits, and and a lot of times for me when we do these trips backward, whether it's my super ancient stuff or it's stuff from the 20 teens or if
Mhm.
it's stuff from the 90s or the 2000s, I feel like I reinforce how good just the everyday product is for wrestling in today's era. Like just your second match on Raw, you know, your third to last match on Dynamite on any given week. It's just like the skill and talent level and what they're doing inside that ring is just separated from the top of the top,
Yeah.
which is like when The Rock gets in here, it becomes a
It's
different
a
thing.
different match. Yeah.
Kane
He
suddenly has somebody he can actually work with, you know? Like
that
it
boy
becomes
Cade is a
something
beast.
interesting finally.
Let me tell you something. That boy Cade's a beast. The character, the
This
wrestler,
is
I
this is
fucking
peak
love me
Kane.
some
Like this is
Cade.
peak
Yeah, I
Kane.
love me some Cade. And by the way, anybody out there, when I refer to any of these wrestlers and shit, I'm talking about the characters. I don't care about their real life stuff. They've done terrible shit. They let them suffer if they need to. But I'm talking about the shit on TV wrestling. I fucking love the character Cade. I love a lot of these
That
characters
was
and
another
stuff.
funny, like, because I was telling Mario off camera that there was, as my wife is now becoming a new wrestling fan, there were all kinds of different moments through this one and the next one where I was able to be like, well, see, he's still around, or you know this person as this person, or blah blah blah. Uh, this is one where I was able to go, um, do you know, uh, do you know what that guy in the mask is doing right now? It's like what? It's like he's the mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee. Has been for quite a long time.
Yeah, and he's one of our two repeats that we're gonna have tonight. Which one of the things I love, like I said, the time
Oh,
capsule
we have more than
aspect.
two repeats.
I said one of we have more than two repeats. I meant to say people that showed up in both of them, but I said two repeats. Yes, I'm like, did I say we only had two? We don't. But the I love the idea, like watching this and knowing that we had another match to come actually looking at the story of wrestling or wrestling because people always like to talk about wrestling's a story, and for the non-wrestling watchers they're like, oh, you lame people just want to come up with something to justify watching dudes in the ring pretend to fight. But no, there is stories to that. Like when you look at these things, especially when you look at them as characters in the story that is this, and you see like, and especially me knowing that we're about to watch something that took place 15 years afterwards. Seeing some of the wrestlers back then, one of the things that I look forward to more is like all the stuff that would have changed between now and the next time we see this person. Or even the way when people came out and you listen to certain wrestlers get introduced. This guy, 13 times so and so character, it's like, oh, I should be scared of this guy, or I should take this character seriously. Oh, this is somebody else. Like if I didn't watch wrestling at all, and I see fucking Kane and Undertaker standing in the ring, as Scotty Too Hottie comes out, I'm like, oh, you poor, poor guy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sure enough, the look on his face. Oh, oh no. I'm not out. And then even
Yep.
JR had to pour onto it. And poor Scotty Too Hottie.
Yep. God, I love JR. Just anytime I get to listen to old JR is just something special, something special.
You,
And to be honest, as a big giant hater, this is the best King. This is
yeah.
the best. Lawler is best at the Rumble. He is best served in the Rumble. That is the best Lawler. He is one of the better commentators for the Rumble. His little bit that he always does of like, this is my pick. That guy immediately gets eliminated. Oh, I was never rooting for him. I've always been voting for this guy. This is my pick. And then a bigger guy comes out. He's like, oh, this was my pick all the time. It always hits. It's always funny. It works.
Good thing I didn't
Um,
make that guy my pick.
yeah, because and it's basically mostly what he does, other than just going, oh, ah, yeah,
Please.
um,
Just yelling
uh,
random shit.
right, um, but yeah, shout out to JR. Oh, and then speaking of repeats, we have John Bradshaw, the wrestler, in
Yeah.
this one in 2001, soon to be John Bradshaw Layfield
Layfield.
as an announcer in the second one that we watch. We have K
Hey,
Quick, the
quick.
wrestler, and then we have our Truth, the wrestler.
And as a K Quick fan, I know I would have been happy to see that back then. Someone was like, you didn't like K Quick. Yeah, I did. I remember going to a Raw and telling my cousin, like, one of the wrestlers to look out for was K Quick. He had a move called the Hat Rat Crack, and he's black like us. It's cool. Oh, okay. What's the Hat Rat Crack like? I couldn't describe the Hat Rat Crack, but I
And they
loved
give
the
him a
name.
pretty decent
Yeah.
run
Hmm.
here as a rookie. I was thinking about that while we are watching it. I was like, he could have been one of the scraps that Kane ate in the first half. And they chose to put him in this back half where he gets a little bit of a run. Eventually gets dumped by Big Show, but um man, Big Show when he could move
It's
around, and
another
we're
repeat.
honestly already starting to get to the point where he can't move around. Like
Yeah.
you can already see he's having a little trouble getting up from the choke slam. Um, but man, such a like WCW giant is just like on another level, and we're still seeing glimpses of that here in this 2001 version.
Hmm. So I got the keep rolling, 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 rolling. Fucking
Maybe biggest pop of the night. I mean, I rivals certainly bigger than the Rocks, and rivals right there with Stone Cold's Glass Shatter.
look. People, speaking of people like to revisionist history, people talk shit about biker taker these days. But like I say, I was target demographic, so I liked biker taker. But yeah, that's what I remember the reception to biker taker being. Like, oh, taker. Fucking honky tonk man getting El Kabonged with his own guitar. Fantastic.
Of
Uh,
course. Didn't even play it.
didn't even play
Didn't even play
it.
it. He was just carrying it. He sang his song to and didn't even play it. He was just holding it, waiting for Kane to take it and hit him with it.
And speaking of Jerry, singing along with the song, he's a honky tonk man. Honky tonk man. He's a honky tonk man. He's cool. He's cocky. He's bad, JR. But no. Um, we do eventually get Stone Cold coming out, and he's continuing his story with Triple H. We have the ringside assault and the fighting and the bleeding, the Crimson Mass opening up. Now, I've been seeing some discourse the past couple days because some person was like, speaking of revisionist history, he's like, y'all really like to pretend like Triple H was a big part of the Attitude Era. And then I've just seen a lot more people that like, I'm glad someone's exposing it. That dude wasn't part of the Attitude Era at all. I'm like, he wasn't the biggest star. I don't think anybody said he was the biggest, but he was definitely a big part of the Attitude Era. Like, and then literally this pay-per-view, he had a match for the championship and then later interfered in the fucking Rumble itself while feuding with Stone Cold, who's the biggest star at the time, and you gotta have a villain for the biggest guy at the time. And I'm like, yeah, this is already McMahon Helmsley era. What the fuck are these people talking about? Anyway, I also thought it was funny when someone got kicked and JR goes, an XFL like kick, trying to promote the XFL because it's 2001 and the XFL's about to be a thing.
I missed that one.
I was just like, oh my goodness, an XFL like kick.
That's funny.
But yeah, we get to the final few, and then, as we stated already, Stone Cold gets the victory.
Stone Cold! Stone
Oh,
Cold!
Stone Cold! I remember JR always yelling. I told myself JR always yelled Stone Cold 2 to 3 times. And then I remember telling myself I lied and just took one thing and memed it to him doing that. But no, the motherfucker always yelled Stone Cold like 3 to 4 times in a row. No, and the more we watch these past matches that involve him, the more I hear at the end, Stone Cold, Stone Cold, Stone Cold. I'm like, okay, I didn't lie to him, but I didn't Mandela affect myself. He really did yell it multiple times every time.
Um the finish, like the literal finish, the physicality of the finish is incredible.
Mm.
Like the what Stone Cold is does with his bot, like I don't know. I ended up playing it back 2 different times, just to watch the replay that they eventually, like the slower replay that they do during the
Dude,
celebration.
dude, the
Um,
fucking cane
because it's
fall
just
too.
like the way he hurls, like he's coming into that clothesline with so much force and gives pressure to the ropes enough to where his body ends up hurling himself backwards, and it's so good. It's so
Dude,
good. It's so
but yeah,
simple,
speaking
but
of that, and you're talking about the replay. If you look at the replay, one of his hurlbacks is almost timed perfectly with Kane's like fall to the floor. And I'm like, it was a great feat by both of them. Makes a beautiful replay to like see. Cause yeah, and yeah, old school Kane, especially with like you said, this being Pete Kane, that motherfucker put on a show that night. And would go on to be known as one of the best, if not the best Royal Rumble performer of all time. because of his consistent dominance whenever he showed up. And I don't know if we have any more things to talk about with that particular Rumble. I felt
No,
bad
we
for
could go
Taz.
directly into the next one.
Yeah. So, as you know, this last Saturday, AJ Styles had what they advertised going into it as possibly his final match in WWE at Royal Rumble, exactly 10 years after his debut in WWE at the Royal Rumble in 2016, which is crazy when I realized that that was the Rumble that he debuted at. Because I just asked if you had seen the Rumble before looking up the year. And I'm like, damn, right at 10 years, that would be a convenient spot to end your career and retire if that ended up
Once
being the
again,
case.
remind everyone we are recording this the Thursday before the Royal Rumble.
Well, like I'm using like, they advertised it as that. I'm going to
Well, yeah,
say
I'm
the
just saying,
outcome. Yeah,
like we
yeah.
don't like this. Yeah, it it
Oh.
feels like it's. I mean, stay tuned for our you don't watch sports. Well, that's already dropped. Uh, um,
As you
uh,
saw on our You
Sat
Don't Watch Sports.
as you saw on our you don't watch sports on Saturday morning, this past Saturday. Um, uh, I I I think it's gonna happen. I think it's like, and people will say, but we
Yeah.
didn't get enough time. And then I'll say to you, AJ Styles told us in like June. He told us in June that he was also going to stop in 2026, just like John Cena was stopping in 2025. And then during that time, he wrestled Finn Balor for the main event on Monday Night Raw for the final time. He appeared at his old promotion TNA twice. He worked with extremely young talent and became a tag team champion for the last time, while like trying to elevate Dragon Lee and working with Javon Evans and Leon Slater.
Yeah.
Then he fought Gunther, fought Shinsuke Nakamura, fought CM Punk, and will fight
And
Gunther
again.
again.
And
Like
also
you
fought
just
Finn
said,
again.
10 years, not to the day, but to the event.
Yeah. Yeah. The stage was set. And you
It
guys
feels
know how it
like it.
turned out. It really, really, yeah. But I thought it'd be fun to see his debut, like how he came into the company. Maybe we even get an idea. I was hoping he had a long showing in there and that it wasn't like a one like one and done fuck you, Mr. TNA, like Vince is known to do. Because, yeah, damn. But even if so, it would have been like, and considering the level he's at, even with WWE fans today, and he had to come from that. But just one of those things, like, how did the people react to him coming based to how do they see him now? And whatever else kind of fun things we would see in the little time
Well,
capsule of 2016.
I think it is. I want to say it is known and documented by parties involved that they weren't they weren't planning on doing a huge amount with him in WWE, and Vince was kind of surprised in a
I have heard
positive
about
way
him being
about
surprised.
this. Like the fact that they keep there have been six entrants and the crowd is still randomly sparking off with AJ Styles chants. I think those are probably the moments that people are referring to of Vince in the back probably being like, "Oh, well, I wasn't prepared for this,"
Yeah,
like kind of thing. Um uh like probably before that maybe he was going to live in like IC title territory kind of thing.
yeah. Um, Man, getting into the match. So this one, 2016's Royal Rumble. I had forgotten that this one had the stipulation that Roman Reigns was defending his WWE championship
Right.
in the Rumble. And this
Because they're
is,
trying to force this authoritarian plot,
yes, yes, the authority who had already
giving
had
him the
their run in.
adversity.
Yeah. So he's going against the authority. The crowd has already started to sour on him because this is a year
He's still
after.
got the blue contact lenses in.
Yeah, this is the year after the Royal Rumble that you're talking about.
Okay.
Um, yeah, this is a year after that, I believe, because I think he's trying to become a two-time winner in this, they were saying. Um,
Yeah, first time anybody's ever trying to defend their belt, and then only the second time that the winner is going to get the belt,
yeah.
kind of thing. Which the first would be the Rumble that we watched in our very first Rumble watch along, the 1992 one where Ric Flair ends up becoming the WWF champion. Yeah, this one is um interesting to see
It's
to
got to be
one
interesting for you
one
to
to
see,
just
like, oh, hey, 10 years ago, this guy, that guy.
well, yeah, and also just seeing. I think this is my first time actually, like I've seen clips and stuff, and obviously I see a lot of people talking about it and referring to the time of this era. But to see in action a man scratching his forehead and getting booed, like anytime he leaves the corner and tries to engage with anyone and do anything, it is just immediate booze. Man,
Talking about
like
Rumble.
I understand what was going on. I understand why the boos are occurring, but God,
Yeah, no,
it's got to be rough, man.
they
It's got to
did
be rough
not.
for the man,
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
human.
folks did not like them some Roman Reigns that year. Like, it just WWE didn't strike when the iron was at its hottest 2 years earlier for Roman. And by the time they came around to be like, okay, guys, we want you to like Roman Reigns, everybody else was wanting to want somebody else. They wanted Daniel Bryan the year that, I know, Daniel Bryan was Bautista year. I think they thought he might get his chance the year after Bautista, but they ended up going the Roman Reigns route. So people were really upset because Daniel Bryan didn't win. Uh,
Yeah, the year before this would have been the heist of the century, right?
yeah.
It would have been Roman winning the Rumble and going to face Brock at Mania, where Seth cashes in.
Yes.
And then Seth has the title through most of the summer, gets hurt. He's completely out of commission. Like Ace,
Mm.
that's that when he did that
Yeah,
sunset power
yeah.
bomb
The
thing
fact
and
that
blew
he
out
still
his
goes
knee.
for that move drives me crazy.
Right, that's insane. When you like
Um,
literally shattered your knee, like it went a wrong direction. I'm never doing whatever caused that again.
no. I'm not doing it once after seeing it happen to that dude. Wait, that's how that can go wrong? Oh no. But yeah, Roman just I remember in this match, I think Roman was the guy I thought they were going to make win at the time. I was trying to watch it and try to remember who I was actually rooting for. And I think it was
Oh,
like
okay. Yeah.
anybody but Roman, but probably Dean. By the time we got to the last few, I was definitely
Were
Team
you
Dean.
checked in enough to be aware of the AJ Stylesness of what
Yes and
of
no.
something is happening over there in Japan and
Heard the rumors that AJ Style might be there, but it was such an idea that WW, at least with my friends and stuff, some other people on the internet will always be like, I knew from day one, fuck you. And this is my story.
right.
They it was more of a maybe, but at the same time, really,
Hmm.
TNA, you think Vince is gonna give a damn about Mr. TNA and let him in on the company type deal? And then So mad the cameraman botched this, and I'm mad that they leave the botch in the fucking review. Just get a different fucking camera angle. Because you
Oh, of
see
just how long
Roman,
they stayed on Roman?
yes, because they do the slow reveal on the Titantron, because you hear the crowd start cheering while it's
Right.
zoomed in
Yeah.
on Roman's face. Because they did the Titantron, and on the back it was like, I am phenomenal. And everyone lost their shit when the word phenomenal came up. But you at home just see Roman looking, huh?
Who's
And then
that?
the crowd loses their shit, and it's like, what? And it's not like that was AJ's TNA theme. This is our first time hearing the theme for people watching at home. So we're even more like confused, like, who is this? And then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit. I think my buddy Adam actually was just like, oh man, AJ, it's gotta be. And then sure enough, it was AJ. And
Um,
I
uh,
hadn't watched any TNA, but my buddies were happy, so I was happy.
that's cool. Yeah, I had known of the name AJ Styles from loosely checking in on TNA when it was on Spike towards the very end of when I was watching back in the day. Um, uh, uh, but I had I had no concept of
Oh, but AJ
New
Styles
Japan
match
wrestling and
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 all of
if
that.
if if there was any meshing and crossover until I got back into wrestling in my adult life kind of thing. I wouldn't have known about like if I would have assumed he came from TNA probably in this moment.
Yeah.
Speaking of camera work and not cutting or not showing the right stuff, I found it incredibly interesting that the guy, the number one guy, just recently former WWE champion Cody Rhodes, at this time Stardust, gets his entire shit cut. All of his stuff is off camera. Like that, which is crazy, which is puts me in the place of like the Cody Rhodes pre-exit or building up to the exit, and like that is the entire thing of the Rumble is
Yeah.
is you get your entrance and then you get like 20 seconds where like you get to own the ring and you get to like circle the ring and each guy gets one of your signature things or that kind of stuff. And
Yeah, they did Cody's.
all of
Yeah.
his is happening off camera
Yeah. As someone who
because they're
liked
doing a they're
Stardust,
doing a they're doing a Roman Reigns spot in the corner.
yeah, as someone who liked Stardust, I hated that that happened to him. And then like I also hated what happened later. And I get, especially when I look back at stuff like this, I get why Cody hates Stardust and everything that happened with that. And I'm like, I really wish Stardust would have went different. I was thinking like, hey, Goldust is a legend. Stardust, that's a great way to do the legend because Cody committed, like to Cody's credit, regardless of the fact that he hated that role, that motherfucker went all in on it. And when you go all in on the role, usually that works out for you as a wrestler. It did not, and that was sad. Anyway, yeah, seeing like all that stuff, like you said, the goddamn. Oh yeah, speaking of our repeats, Kane comes back, and he's still terrifying. It's 15 years later, but like I say, story-wise, it's like 15 years. This is now the Kane. Oh God, the guy I literally just saw make it all the way to the end of that last Rumble is still coming out with fucking fire and brimstones, treated like a goddamn monster 15 years later. Not even old man
Just a
Kane.
just a little bit more of a gut, a kind of a bad wig instead of what was probably his real hair at the time in 2001. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
and yeah, it's like JR, but it's like other people that from back then you could tell like were visibly, and you can still tell he's visibly older. But even from a character standpoint, it's like, yeah, time's passed. That guy Bradshaw, he's on commentary now, and he even rose up to become a champion. He's on commentator as a former champion. He was some random
Right.
dude drinking beer backstage on the last thing. Now, he done had a full
Yeah,
character
yeah.
arc. And here's Kane.
He's yeah, he's done had a literal full character arc. And this was already after, like the guy that you're seeing in 2001 has already had a pretty extensive character arc. Like he was a cowboy, and then he was like a hard, evil, satanic acolyte, and now he's like a poker guy. He's like a bouncer. I think
Yeah, a
canonically
poker
at this
bouncer.
point
Yeah.
they're like bouncers. When they initially teamed up to be like devil henchmen.
And
And then pretty soon he's about to be like an oil tycoon
yeah,
kind of.
to be an oil tycoon that becomes the champion of the company and runs stuff for a while, and then retires and comes back as a commentator. Like he's full
Full
character
fucking
arc.
arc in between our two Royal Rumbles.
Meanwhile, Kane comes in. Yeah, he looks older, but he's still like, oh shit, here
Honestly,
comes Kane.
it's almost uncomfortable for me to see this Kane
I
at
know,
the
but you
beginning.
get my point. They still try to make him seem like he
Like
was
this
a threat.
mask Kane.
Yeah,
Like
they
I
still
almost
tried to make him
I
seem
just
like a threat. I know he was older and didn't move the same and shit. I
well no, I'm
understand
fine with the
that.
movie.
I can
I'm
sell it
talking
myself.
specifically about like the mask and the wig.
Oh, yeah.
It weirds me out to like I would much more rather prefer them to have stayed with like the buzz cut and a weird contact lens, or like and maybe at like maybe continually build up some like
Well, that
some
particular,
fake some face makeup, some like you
if
know
I
like
remember
some blackened out
correctly,
eyes and kind of thing.
I don't think he had gone full corporate Kane yet at that point, but he had had a different mask at one point that was worse.
I've seen images of corporate Kane, but I'm not familiar with
Um,
suited Kane at all.
Yeah, well, only reason
Uh,
I'm saying that is I'm not sure because he would go back and forth between, wearing the suit and then putting on that particular version of the mask. But because the authority is a thing at this point, and I know Corporate Kane worked with the authority, that's why I'm like, I'm not sure if he's quite Corporate Kane yet at this point.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, he was in the match, fucking,
Big Show was in the
goddamn,
match.
huh?
Big Show was in the match.
Big Show. Big Show made it back.
I love
R-Truth.
although he's another one who it's like, oh, you are not moving around like you used to, buddy. That's a great because he's a little bit slower these days. It's a great example of a guy like uh using the Rumble to give the rub or pass the torch because he's a little older. And I know Braun Strowman has been vocal about the fact that he was very green and kind of out there flying blind in the early years. Um, uh, eh, uh, you can you can see Big Show coaching Braun through the punches moment, telling him to rally up. He puts him in the sleeper hold, and then I swear to God, I feel like you can see Big Show mouth, "All right, let's go, buddy." And then and then he gets dumped, and then Big Show gets dumped out by the new giant. Like I think it's a really beautiful encapsulation that because of the olderness and the speed of these guys, you can really see it well, where you maybe normally couldn't see it of just like of
Yeah,
this older dude say it like acknowledge it's like this moment is specifically designed. Well, like this is a rehearsed we want to have this moment, and it is a passing of the torch thing. It was I really connected with it.
I did like that. We had Roman do, and I know a lot of people
The
were
Wyatt family
convinced.
is so fucking cool.
I
The
love
Wyatt
the Wyatt
family is so
family.
cool. Here's another thing that I was thinking about, and this isn't an attack on any 2016 fans, because
Okay.
again, I understand what you were doing. I understand why you were doing what you were doing. But I during a point in this Rumble imagined a what if where Roman was the super baby face that Vince wanted him to be, and then you could truly have this crazy, insane, special villain character and his three giants. Like that could have really ended up blossom. You had two guys right at about the same age
Yeah.
that could have ended up being a forever feud thing that took them a long time and could have drawn out getting to the Fiend. Like I don't know, this is a big what if of like elongating Bray's, trying to think about elongating Bray's career, because I do know I do understand from watching that it's a lot of peaks, but it's a lot of start stops kind of thing. And then that's why we end up getting the evolutions, is because he's like, all right, got to try something new. Um, like
He just got to stay
what
away from
if,
Randy Orton is what he has to
right?
do.
What if Fiend was in a necessary evolution to destroy this Superman
I
of a
mean,
Roman Reigns kind of thing, you know? Like
I agree with you, but like I said, he just needed to stay away from Randy Orton. Husky Harris gets punted in the head, starts thinking he's from the Bayou, and recruits some giants and starts calling himself Bray Wyatt after disappearing from Randy Orton, punting him in the head. Eventually Bray Wyatt eventually Bray Wyatt runs foul of Randy Orton again. Randy Orton burns his fucking house down, and then he becomes the Fiend because he's driven crazy by Randy Orton. Then Randy sets the man on fire, and he has to go. I love the story of Randy and Bray, as stupid as it is. Like, damn. But that's also part of the whole Randy never really gets any comeuppance for real, for real. Because at the end of the
he is the
day,
legend killer. And he kept killing Bray's legend, no matter what form he came at him.
yeah, even when he came back, I think that what did that against Randy? That Mania? Yeah, Randy won then.
The Mania?
Oh yeah, because the Fiend build up with Alexa Bliss and shit after Randy set the man on fire. They
Oh
spent
yeah, because
the
Alexa showed up and distracted the Fiend instead of distracting
Randy, yeah.
instead of siding with the Fiend. Yeah.
Yeah, and so Randy wins, and it's like, what the Randy, what do you have to do to get some comeuppance in life? Anyway, I love me some Randy Orton, St. Louis's own. But back to the Rumble. We got the table spot, like you said, we got the hero comeback thing, and everyone's booing because it's the hero comeback. Even though it could have been cool if it was the babyface thing. Like Stone Cold does this exact same thing, damn near in his match.
It's
And we
almost the
love
exact
it.
same plot. That's why they're
Yeah.
doing it, and then partially that's why the people are booing it. They're like, we're not dumb. We just saw this
Eh,
10 years ago.
exactly. They're
Like,
like, you're trying to manufacture sympathy for this man, and it's not gonna work. We will not
but I
feel.
manufactured sympathy for another man like 6 years ago, and you were fine with it.
No, you forced Cena down our throats. We're not letting you do it again with Roman. But I did think the Miz's whole thing was funny to me. Him coming out and getting on commentary and talking about he's gonna turn Suplex City into Disney World because they were in
That was
Orlando.
stupid.
Because it was in Orlando. I still laughed. It was a stupid line. Again, I like corny shit. That's the
No,
thing.
I know.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
was
I
stupid and
love Biz. I
corny,
love
but I
Biz.
liked it. No, I'm just saying.
But
It
that's
was
why I
corny.
love Biz, is because I hate Biz. Yeah.
Brock Lesnar's gonna Brock Lesnar. There was a point where we also thought, I know Brock was a heavy favorite going in there. They're like, are they really gonna get? Maybe Brock stops Roman. Maybe that's what stops him. Because back then, Brock did
Because
have a
Brock is
leg
getting
up.
cheers. Like
Yeah, back then
this
Brock
is one
had a
of the times
leg up
Brock's.
in their feud, and people really didn't like Roman. And at the end of the day, it's not hard to get wrestling fans, at least, when we're talking about the character, it's not hard to get people to like Brock Lesnar. Big man Goldberg. Boom, boom, boom. Brah. Yeah.
And he's
Dopamine.
so limited now that that always helps you too. That's always an added bonus. You just had like when your music causes a that's it's gonna get it. People very easily go from to
Pretty much. Um,
and
but
then maybe there'll be a delayed
oh wait, yeah, boo, wait a minute. Wait a minute, I'm supposed to boo you.
like the Cena 30 Royal Rumble thing. Yeah, like that moment.
Then Trip speaking of number 30, Triple H comes out.
Speaking of wrestlers potentially using the crowd doesn't like Roman right now thing to their advantage. Somebody maybe backstage was like, all right, so so they don't like Roman. So what if I come out and be Roman?
Yeah, get him a little more sympathy. He needs a real
Yeah,
hero
that's
like
what'll
me.
happen.
He'll get a real
Yeah.
hero like me, make him really get
Yeah,
on his side.
we'll be building sympathy.
They hate the
Yeah,
they hate the
they'll
authority.
definitely
They
they'll
hate the
definitely
authority.
cheer. They'll definitely cheer for Roman after that.
Yeah, because like I said, he was part of the authority, and an authority through Vince and the League of Nations already attacked Roman in the match. So clearly, if Triple H goes out there, he'll get more boos than Roman. Nah, no. And I was pissed because it was Triple H and Dean left. And I'm like, Dean, you can do it. You can do it. He didn't do it, but it's fine. He eventually got that title run. And now he runs AEW. The fact that 10 years later, looking at some of the people in this match, like your Kevin Owenses and your Sammys, it's like, that's cool seeing where they, grow up. Unfortunately, two people in the match are deceased now because time is a bitch. Speaking of the Wyatt family, Bray and Harper. Um,
Right. Yeah.
rest in peace
Yeah,
to
that's
them.
I think this is the first time my wife has ever gotten to see Bray
Hmm.
and Luke because the the active Wyatt Six obviously reference both of them quite a lot. And so this is the first time they were ever got to see them. Speaking of, I was about ready to jump in before that on the Dean Ambrose thing. I was even able to reference him and say, "Do you remember that bald crazy man covered in blood?" In that like AEW steel cage thing that we watched. She's like, maybe kind of. I was like, well, that's him. So you also know you've seen that guy too.
The Paul crazy man.
I mean,
It's not
I
an
think that was one
inaccurate
of her key
description.
takeaways
It's not an inaccurate description. That's
from
why
that.
I'm
I
laughing.
think she was like, that guy's crazy.
Yes,
That guy's got something loose.
dude, I've been a fan of his since early WWE, and someone showed me
And she wasn't talking
CZW,
about Darby.
and
And
they
when you're not talking about Darby and Darby's in the match, that's saying something.
oh my, well, we've gone on long enough, but the theoretical like death match between Mox and Darby,
Oh, that's
ugh,
not theoretical. That's happened
a few
3 times in
times.
2025.
Oh, okay. I feel like it happened, but just in case, I feel like that's just ridiculous. Anyway, oh yeah, because
They've had
he was against the
at
Death
least two of
Riders. He
them
was one of the main
were
people against the Death Riders, so that makes sense.
right. Yeah, at least two of them were very intense. One of them might have been closer to a straightforward match, but at least
Yeah,
two of them got,
yeah, those
they went
two,
places.
they go out there not expecting to come back backstage. And I
I think
have to
one of them
feel
was
like
in
that's
St.
the
Louis actually.
case.
One of them took place in St. Louis, and that was the one actually that people were a little upset with, because St. Louis has some policies on blood. Yeah, where like the St. Louis Athletic Commission, I think doesn't want anybody intentionally bleeding or anything like that. Like if it happens the hard way kind of
Yeah.
thing, there's like I don't think they'll stop the maybe you have to pause for medics to at least like clean the wound or something. We for as being as old school and as legendary of a American wrestling city. Yeah, there's a couple of weird rules we have. I think we're another one of those places where you have to legitimately like get a manager's license from the St. Louis Wrestling Athletic Commission or something like that in order to like be ringside.
That's crazy. Damn, 2016. Oh, yeah, that was scary, Brock Lesnar. Oh, that Brock Lesnar went on to be a terrifying man.
So, but
Anyway,
yeah,
yeah, sorry.
uh, I, I'm watching this whole thing thinking like I have already convinced myself that one, I have already kind of seen this Royal Rumble, and that and because I have it completely wrong. As you told me, it was Kane and Big Show in the
Yeah,
Rock Royal Rumble. But I thought it was the Wyatt Biggins. Um, um, and I was like, okay, so the Wyatt Biggins come
that's
out,
another
and
reason why
then
people were booing because it was too close to the year before.
and then The Rock comes out and he raises the hand. So when Triple H dumps Roman, I had a legitimate pop of like, whoa, oh my God, this isn't that Rumble. Okay. Okay, and come to find out from you, that was just last year. So there probably is a lot of similar dudes and like it's a Roman centric Rumble. So it's other than AJ Styles, it's probably extremely similar in a
Yeah.
lot of ways. Um,
So I'm like, so that's part of why people were booing like they were because they're like, we literally told you last year we don't want to see this, and you're gonna do it to us twice. You're gonna do it. They're doing it to us twice. He's coming back out after being taken away from injury. They're doing it to us twice. They say, no, fuck you. He will win and you will like it. He will come in from number one like Shawn Michaels and defend his title. It's the first person to ever do that. Fine. Whatever. Cool. Fine,
so
Vince. And then it's like,
if you had to pick the guy that like you Omari 2016 February 6th or whatever day morning this was going into it, who would you be hoping was going to win the Rumble that night?
uh, at that time, I would have been fine with Brock. Because I was anti-Roman. I would have been fine with Brock. Dean probably would have been cool. I like Daniel Bryan, but I don't. He clearly wasn't even involved, and I don't know if he had a chance of being involved by that point. But I think one of them. I was not expecting nor rooting for Triple H. I think I might have been okay with Knowing historically how I feel about the character Triple H, I might have been okay in the moment because he wasn't Roman, but then immediately be like, y'all couldn't have given this to Dean or somebody else. Because Triple H is also 15 years older than he was in that previous Rumble and had a full ass character arc. So it's like, you don't
And
need
already
this.
somebody who wasn't exactly like he's like I don't know, Triple H is in such a weird space as a wrestler because he's loved but he isn't.
Right?
Like he's a legend but he's constantly shat on. Like, cause like it's like every cause it's wrestling and nothing's real. So anything that you put on your resume, somebody can say you didn't earn
Right.
kind of thing.
but he's
And
notorious for putting in the dirty work to get in those scripted positions. At which point you're like, well, he did put in work, just not the work you wanted him to. So he did kind of earn it. If you want it to be like the heel thing of it. And now you get the stories coming out of him allegedly showing up in WWE and being like, I'm gonna run this company one day. And it's like, okay, I don't know if he actually did that, but if that was his actual goal, was to run WWE when he came in, you know what? Congratulations, Paul. You did it. You fucking did it. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. But I appreciate the character Triple H after all these years because he
I
has
think,
been
yeah,
around.
I mean, I think it totally could have legitimately been the goal because it's kind of all that is how that's how wrestling has always worked. And in a way, no one had been, no one had really attempted to do it to Vince McMahon yet, and not to Vince McMahon, like with Vince McMahon, like but like previously, like compiling all the stories I've heard, all the wrestling legends and all of the, the Crockett's and the Dusties and all of that. That's how it always ended up working. Is you had the one guy, and then eventually that guy brought the kid into the room and let him start sitting in the room and just silently listening, and then eventually you start turning to the kid and asking him for his opinion every now and then that slowly climbs up and up and up until that kid is Dusty Rhodes and he's running the company now, kind of thing. um so I wonder if it totally was like him being the old school knowledge guy that we also know Triple H is, and being like, well, nobody's sitting in this position yet. The only people that are sitting there are the same age, if not older than Vince, like Pat Patterson and
Uh,
Jerry Briscoe and shit like that. Um, uh, and then yeah, and then you just start because like suppose from everything I've heard, and I feel like even wrestlers that dislike him have confirmed that he was getting invited into meetings before he was dating Stephanie.
mm.
Like he was kind of sitting in on writers room meetings and stuff like that. So if you walk in there with a, and I know he ended up earning a lot of points by like taking his punishment supposedly for
The curtain call.
the curtain call. So if like like none of these people seem like good men. Good human beings. So I don't want to be trying to defend them, but I'm just saying I can easily see a picture of like, all right, kid. All right, so like, yeah, you've been we've been dog assing you for 2 years now. And you've been taking it like a man. Whatever, blah blah blah. And like, what do you see for yourself? What are you doing? And he's like, well, I'm interested in like, or whatever. Or even like at one point he was as part of the punishment he had to drive Vince, you know, and then that kind of grows into something. You never know how these things ended up working, but there's obviously a little bit of manipulation there, and it's just fucking wrestling. It seems like,
Yeah.
You think Cody Rhodes ain't a fucking master politicaler? You think Roman Reigns ain't?
And Roman Reigns don't have to be with his family.
The crazy one,
The groundwork's been put in for that two family to be set for ages.
the crazy one from most accounts seems to be John Cena, the guy with some of the most successes in professional wrestling seems to be the guy who was most like, yeah, whatever, okay. And the only time that I've ever heard of him being political is when he wiped out the Nexus. And Edge tells the story as he just passionately thought that the story was coming to a conclusion and that the story was good guy wins. and
Yeah.
and then when and then when the match ended and it fell flat and it even fell flat in the arena, Ed Adam Copeland says that Cena even immediately, like the second they got back from the behind the curtain, Cena was like, "I was wrong. I was wrong. I was totally wrong," kind of thing. um, so yeah, it's like most people are just going to be political.
And then there's the
But
whole very
I don't know
mediocrity
what, but
mindset.
I say all that to just say that Triple H is just the weirdest. That YouTube video that you sent me so
The
many years
wrestling
ago.
isn't a
At this
wrestling
point,
thing. Yeah.
yeah, that's a great encapsulation of just like the crazy story and wrestler that is Triple H. And I don't know if I think he's good or bad or great or
He's like true definition of mid.
yeah, a master manipulator that deserves everything he gets or should have everything he gets taken away from him. I've no idea where I fall. No concept whatsoever. It's
And the
crazy.
best thing about it is he does all of this under the guise of being one of the more open wrestlers. Because he constantly shows you quote unquote the stuff behind the camera and the real shit and exposing things. Like the curtain call. Literally breaking kayfabe and getting in trouble for it. So, and he's just always towed that line with kayfabe and reality to the point you don't know what to think about him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anyway, those are two rumbles. We have gone on for a minute. I enjoyed the 2001 Rumble. That was more nostalgia for me than the other one. But 2016, as much of I hated going through those years of the 20 teens, week to week as a Raw watcher, I had a lot of nostalgia moments of just being like, that wrestler, that wrestler. Oh shit, the Social Outcast, those scrubs, the fucking Jobber Squad. I remember them. God, they were losers. But no,
Yeah, it was a
admirable.
lot of fun. A lot of fun. And congratulations to those winners again last Saturday.
Roman Reigns,
And
Liv Morgan. Indeed. Agreed. I too like those
I did that
individuals.
again so you'd have to find it a
Yeah.
second time in the
Oh, I
timeline.
knew exactly why you were doing that. I knew exactly why you were doing it. I'm like, he's literally just trying to make sure I have to listen to the entire episode. um, but yeah, if you want to see some of our other stuff, check it out on the channel. We mentioned the sports show. It happens on Saturdays. We have plenty of other content on different days of the week where we're talking with other people on the channel. It's, usually Super Jazz and Big Bro.
Two,
Thank you very much. As nature intended, Super Jazz and Big Bro have been
super chest,
like Cookie Crisp. No, that's Super Jazz. Anyway,
super chest.
yep. I also have a Twitter and Twitch. Look for them. They're Geotavi. You'll find them. Not really. I'm Anyway, Bill, you got anything else you want to say?
No.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. See you next week. Adiosness.